Hey everybody, how's it going? Thank you so much for checking in on the channel, and thanks for clicking the button. We have got Duran Duran, and you see that because you clicked on it. This is, I guess, a brand new album that one of our listeners and subscribers has requested that I do a reaction to. Now, I am definitely a Duran Duran fan. All the ways back in the early 80s, 81, when they first came out with their first album. And Girls on Film was one of the big songs off that album. I was trying to remember what the name of the album was, if there was one, if it wasn't just Duran Duran. Just Duran Duran. Yeah, 1981. And then in 82, they came out with Rio, which was a really big hit. Actually, I have a whole album review of Rio from like a year and a half ago on my channel that I did with another YouTube reactor. We collaborated on that, and it was really good. And I've had that album, and I also owned Notorious from 1986, and Big Thing in 88, and then the Wedding album that was 1993. I had that as well, but that's about it. I've liked some of their songs after that. I just didn't keep up with them as closely. And so we are going to take a look at this brand new album released in 2021, and we're going to do the song Anniversary. So I'm pretty excited about it. Let's see what they got going for us these days. Let's check it out.
Come celebrate this union. Come holy and unchained.
Sounds like Simon.
How do you know? Stay or go. Keep riding on the train. What does it take beneath the skin to keep from letting go? Some moments burned into the storm, and some you'll never know.
I remember before I realized that I think it was the Wedding album that came out, and it had Ordinary World, and I was in my living room. It was like the mid '90s or something, and I had just bought this big stereo, the old school, the big speakers, and all the units, and it sounded great, and I used to listen to it real loud, Didn't have headphones back then. We didn't even have computers back then. And I heard that Ordinary World, and I was like, this is an amazing song. And I'm like, oh my gosh, is this Duran Duran? No way. And I just love that song. Love, love, love it. I mean, this sounded like Duran Duran to me, but I didn't think it was that great. And a big part of it was the production. I don't know what's going on with that. It seemed like the EQ was really high, like the bass wasn't punchy at all. I could hear it back there going, doing the pops and stuff like that, but it wasn't funky. It wasn't in my head. It was everything was way up here. It was all together. And then at one point the snare was over here in this ear, that fake snare. And then it would like ricochet over to here. That was all. It didn't have, it just seems like with all the keyboards and that funky bass, and the drums, they could have mixed that in such a way that it could have given you much more pleasure in the headset than that was. That actually almost was so high pitched that it almost hurt my ears. And the did like going through the whole flippin' song, was that necessary? And then just as I was about sick of it, it stopped, and then Simon started doing it at the end. It sounds worse than it is, I think, but is it really? I really like Duran Duran. I've always liked them from everything I've heard, but that wasn't that great, frankly. It just sounded kind of like a poor imitation to me of Duran Duran. I hope, for their sake, that album is good. In the songs, there's better songs. This one was called Anniversary, and frankly, it doesn't have very many plays. It's pretty new. They have another song called Invisible, which is the very first song, which has got the most plays. But that's very typical for the first song on an album on Spotify. And then it's got like 2 million plus, and then it just drops off, And then there's another one that's got, it's called a song called More Joy. And it's got like 1 million plays plus. But I don't know. Sorry, I didn't think that was that great, frankly. I just got to be honest. I'm a little bit disappointed, unfortunately, because I really, really like Duran Duran. So, and I think a lot of it was the production. I think if they could have made those instruments pop, it could have been way funkier. The keyboards could have been way more interesting and swirling in your head, to give it some texture. And those drums sounded fake as fake could be. They didn't even try to make them sound like real drums. So that sucks, frankly. That really sucks. But that's about it I got to say about that. So I'm going to move on and try to forget about this one. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. I mean, don't get me wrong though. I'm a Duran Duran fan, and that one hurts to say what I have to say about that as a reaction. Unfortunately, I was really excited to hear something that I was going to love, and didn't happen on that. So maybe there's better ones. I hope, for their sake, there's better ones. All right. Catch me down in the comments and let me know what you think. Bye-bye.